My name's Brandon Gaille, and welcome to my blogging masterclass, where I'm going to reveal the tactics that I use to take my little blog from 0 to 1 million monthly visitors in just 18 months. If you watch the entire masterclass right now, then I'm going to let you bypass the waitlist for my exclusive online course and give you 2 big bonuses that are only available through this masterclass. Before I get started, I want to show you some real results that I have achieved from applying my proven tactics. Here is a screenshot of my Google Analytics for my personal blog, brandongaille.com. I made my first post in April of 2013, and my traffic has been steadily going up over the past couple of years, pushing beyond 2 million monthly visitors. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, if you have a proven system for getting traffic that can be applied to any blog, then why don't you have more than one blog? Well, between my clients' blogs and my blogs, I have applied my blogging system to over 50 blogs. Let me show you some stats of the blogs that I own that I started from scratch. Here is my blog that covers leadership topics that is getting over 165,000 monthly visitors. Here's another one on my blog that covers environmental topics that is getting over 250,000 monthly visitors. And my blog that covers government-related topics is getting over 280,000 monthly visitors. Now let me show you some keyword ranking stats along with the value of 1 month's traffic from some of my other blogs. My blog that covers Android mobile phone topics is ranking on Google for 26,900 different keyword phrases. The value of its traffic for a 1 month period is over $14,000. My blog that covers finance-related topics is ranking on Google for 29,000 different keyword phrases, and the value of its traffic for a 1 month period is at $61,800. My blog that covers health and fitness-related topics is ranking on Google for 71,000 different keyword phrases, and the value of its traffic for a 1 month period is right at 6 figures. And now I want you to take a look at my ranking stats for my personal blog, brandongaille.com. I'm ranking on Google for 213,000 different words, and my monthly traffic is valued at $333,000. That puts the value of my yearly traffic right at $4 million. The reason I wanted you to see all these stats is for 2 reasons. The first is I want you to know that I know what I'm talking about. And the second is that I wanted to show you that my tactics and blogging system can be applied to virtually any type of niche. Jim Rohn said, "Work hard at your job and you can make a living. Work hard on yourself and you can make a fortune." By taking the time to listen to this masterclass, you are going to work on yourself and expand your knowledge with proven tactics that deliver results again and again. So let me tell you what I'm going to cover in this value-packed masterclass. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes giving you a quick review of how I got to where I am today. Then I'll break down my proven system for crafting blog posts that consistently rank number 1 on Google. After that, I will be revealing my secret link building tactics that push my blog to beyond 1 million monthly visitors. And finally, I'm going to give you an overview of my exclusive blogging course along with 2 big bonuses that are only available through this masterclass. 10 years ago, before I made my first blog post, my health began to fade at a dramatic pace. Back in 2008, I was hospitalized, and while I was in the hospital, I had a code blue and almost died. A few months later, I was told I had a brain tumor. Things started to look a little better when my wife became pregnant with our first child. And then my wife was told she had stage 3 inflammatory breast cancer during the 5th month of her pregnancy. Our son was born healthy, and my wife beat cancer. It took me another 3 years before I was healthy enough to start a business again, and by that time, I was almost $500,000 in debt. My goal was to create a business that would make money even if my health deteriorated again. That was what led me to blogging. In my 20s, before my health went south, I built several seven-figure plus businesses. The success of these businesses were based on my ability to reverse engineer different business models and search engine algorithms. Although a decade had passed since running these businesses, I still had that natural ability to reverse engineer systems and make an even better system. Knowing that, I spent 6 months breaking down the tactics that drove the most traffic to some of the most successful blogs in the world. I created my own system using the best of the best proven tactics. I put my plan into motion with my first blog post in April of 2013. And 4 months later, my blog was getting over 170,000 monthly visitors, and I knew I was on to something great. Fast forward to 14 months later, and more than 1 million people were visiting my blog every month. This is when I started to launch a new blog every month, and you've seen the stats of many of those blogs already. The one thing I forgot to mention is that due to my previous health struggles, I have over 200 sleep disruptions every night. This requires me to have a sleep routine that lasts 13 hours a night. I have been doing this every night for 8 years now. If I can build a successful blog being out of bed for just 11 hours a day, then you can too. And it helps to have a reason behind why you want to have a blog that makes money while you sleep. For me, it's my family. Because of my sleep requirement, I couldn't get a job even if I tried. If I had a job, then it would only pay me as long as I was able to work. I wanted to provide financial security to my beautiful wife and 2 loving boys for the rest of their lives. Blogging has not only provided that security, but it has also allowed me to set my own hours so that I never miss a moment. Before I get into the tactics, let me make one quick point. Keyword research is also a big part of my blogging system. However, it would take more than a webinar to help you become a keyword master. That is why I dedicate an entire 80-minute video module in my course on how to do keyword research the right way. Now let's get started with my 6 on-page SEO tactics that get blog posts to rank number 1 on Google. The steps that you take to optimize your blog post for on-page SEO can make the difference between ranking at the top of the first page of Google results or being buried down in page 7. You took the time to research and write a great article. It only makes sense to spend another 20 minutes optimizing your post so that people can find it when they do a Google search. When it comes to on-page SEO, there are 6 key tactics that help your blog post move towards the first page of Google rankings every single time. Number 1, craft the perfectly optimized title to receive the maximum click-through rate. The title is by far the most important on-page SEO factor of a blog post. WordPress and most blogging platforms will automatically use the title of your post as the meta title. This will be pulled by Google to use as the title of the search result for your post. The title plays a pivotal role for 2 reasons. The first reason is that Google focuses on the keywords in the title for indexing your post. When your post is initially indexed by Google, it'll begin testing to see if anyone is interested. This is done by including it in the search results for different keyword phrases. The title of a post has the biggest impact on the Google algorithm during the initial indexing phase. And this is specifically in regards to which keyword searches your post shows up for. The second reason is that the title also impacts the click-through rate. Google keeps track of the click-through rate of every page and post that's indexed in their database. If your post ends up getting clicked on more than the competition for a specific keyword phrase, then Google pushes your posts up because it sees it as more relevant to that keyword search. It rewards your post by continuing to move it towards the number 1 ranking. The chart on this slide shows the average click-through rate for head terms and long tail terms. A head term is a 1-word or 2-word phrase like car insurance or credit card. A long tail term has 3 or more words like luxury apartment rentals in Colorado or free WordPress themes for real estate agents. Now that we know why the title of your post is important, let's take a look at what you can do to make sure your post is indexed properly and gets clicked on more than all the other results in Google search. The first thing you'll want to do is include your exact keyword phrase in the first 6 words of your title. It has been proven when all else is equal, a post that has the exact keyword phrase within the first 6 words of the title will outrank a post that does not. If the keyword phrase that you're trying to rank for is advanced SEO techniques, then you would want to make sure that these 3 words appear in the first 6 words of the title. Let's take a look at the title of the post that ranks number 1 on Google for advanced SEO techniques. The title reads, 10 advanced SEO techniques that'll double your search traffic. And on this slide, you can see how the title looks in the Google search results. The tail end of the title gets cut off because Google typically only allows for 57 characters of a title to show in the search results. If the target keyword phrase doesn't appear in the title of the Google results, then it's going to negatively impact the overall click-through rate. People tend to click on the titles that have the exact keyword phrase that they did a search for. This is why advertisers on Google AdWords always use the exact phrase of the search as the title in their ad. Before I show you my perfect title formula, let me share 2 statistically proven facts regarding headlines and post titles. The first is that people prefer headlines that lead with a number more than any other type of headline. The reason for this is that numbered titles almost always lead to a list-style blog post. These posts are always real easy to read, and they have each key point in a header or bolded out. The second proven fact is that people click on odd-numbered headlines 20% more than even-numbered headlines. No one's come up with an intelligent way to explain why this is, but it has been proven to be the case time and time again. This leads us to what I call the perfect title formula: odd number plus superlative or power word plus the exact keyword phrase. For example, if you look on the slide, you have 11 for the odd number, best for the superlative or power word, and then SEO tips for bloggers for the exact keyword phrase you're trying to rank for. And that gives you the title, 11 Best SEO Tips for Bloggers. Here are a few other examples of titles using the perfect title formula. 9 Greatest Marketing Campaigns of All Time. 7 Fastest WordPress Themes for Real Estate Agents. 5 Incredible Thanksgiving Dessert Recipes. And 25 Free Project Management Tools. I recommend that 60% of your post should have a title that begins with an odd number. An odd-numbered title paired with a list-style post is going to have the optimal click-through rate and overall best post engagement. So do your best to create a list-styled post as often as possible. The second big tactic that you want to use is to create a meta description that teases them into clicking. The meta description is the text that is seen below your title in Google search. If you do not write a custom meta description, then Google will pull an excerpt from your article to be used as the description. In the examples on this slide, you can see 2 meta descriptions that differ greatly. The first description is one that was strategically written for Google. It reads, "Need more patience for your dental practice? We've compiled the list of the top 25 marketing ideas the pros use to drive more traffic to their ... The second description pales in comparison to the first one, and it barely even makes sense. It reads, by Carol Tekovac, CDA RDH. For more on this topic, go to www.dentaleconomics. Because the description is read by Google searchers more than 20% of the time, it makes sense to take the time to write a custom meta description for every single post. The easiest way to manage your meta descriptions is by using the SEO Yoast WordPress plugin. Once the plugin is installed, you'll have a box that appears below each post when you're logged into WordPress. The SEO Yoast meta description box also has a nice reminder of Google's character cutoff point, which is right around 156 characters. When you write the meta description, you'll want to remember two things. First, include the keyword phrase. Although it's not as vital as having it in your post title, it still plays a psychological role in communicating to potential clickers that your post is all about what they're searching for. The second thing you want to do is to create a tease using a truncated sentence. Google automatically truncates descriptions that are beyond 156 characters. So searchers are used to seeing the ... at the end of a truncated description. You can use this to your advantage by creating a truncated sentence that teases the key points of the article as your meta description. Newspapers and blogs have been using this technique for years by using shortened excerpts that appear right beneath the title. It gets people to start reading and then abruptly cuts them off. There is a strong human instinct that drives us to complete these sentences, and it compels us to click on the title to see the rest of the sentence. At the top of this slide, you can see a good example of how the CoSchedule blog used this tactic in the meta description of this post. It reads, "In this post, you'll read about some of the best content marketing tips of all time. They are the 5 things you must do for great content, ... And then here's another great example right below it that takes the tease even further. It reads, "There are 11 on-page SEO tactics that pro bloggers use to get ridiculous results. The one tactic that plays the biggest role in SEO is ... The first sentence gets them excited about the article, and the second sentence cuts them off right before they find out the one tactic that plays the biggest role in SEO. This simple technique can make the difference between ranking number 3 or ranking number 1. Just in case you're wondering what's the difference between a number 1 and a number 3 ranking on Google, if you added all the clicks that are received from the number 2 through the number 10 Google rankings, that means number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then it would still be less than the clicks that the number 1 ranking receives. The third tactic is the more words you write in your blog post, the better. There is a direct correlation to longer posts resulting in higher rankings. The word count has an impact on 2 levels. First, the Google algorithm keeps track of the word count. It values websites that consistently pump out long-form blog posts with 2,000 words or more. It also penalizes websites that have too many articles with less than 250 words in them, and this is known as the thin content penalty. Secondly, Google keeps track of the average amount of time visitors spend on your site before they click the back button and continue searching on Google. This is known as dwell time. The greater your dwell time, the higher your post will go up in the rankings. A 2,500 word post is going to keep visitors on your blog longer than a 500 word post will. SERP IQ did a study that showed the average word count of a number 1 ranking on Google is 2,450 words. And a more recent study by Backlinko found the same correlation to higher word counts equaling higher Google rankings. In their study, the average word count of a number 1 ranking on Google was right at 1,950 words. In addition to the Google rankings, long-form posts attract more inbound links from other websites. In this HubSpot study, they found that posts that had more than 2,500 words received the most inbound links. And finally, it has been proven that long-form posts get shared on social media more often than short-form posts. There is a substantial increase in social shares for posts that have more than 2,000 words. The fourth tactic to use is to name your images with descriptive, keyword-rich phrases. When you create a post, I recommend using images that are charts, graphs, and infographics. These type of images tend to get shared up to 10 times more often because they cover interesting stats, that are visually appealing. For each of these images, you'll want to optimize them for a specific descriptive keyword-rich phrase. This will impact your rankings for standard Google search, and it will help each image get its own independent ranking in Google image search. Image search is less competitive than standard search because most websites don't take the time to optimize each of their images for specific keyword phrases. Here's a screenshot of a Google image search where I have the top 2 image rankings. These type of rankings produce traffic, and they also generate inbound links. A study by Moz found that blog posts that used images and videos within a list format ended up receiving over 550% more inbound links. There are basically 2 things that you'll need to do to optimize an image. The first is the image name. Once you identify the keyword phrase for the image, then you will save it as that phrase and use hyphens to separate the words. If I were to optimize an image for Google organic click-through rate statistics by position, then the image name would be the same words separated by hyphens. The second part of this is the alt and title text. For the alt and title text, I would use the same keyword phrase, and then I would capitalize the first letters of each word so that it looks better whenever it shows up in Google image search. And you can see here on the slide, right under the title and alt text example, what you would do by capitalizing the letters. In WordPress, you'll be able to add the alt and the title text when you add an image to your post. And on the left-hand side of this slide, you can see exactly what it looks like in WordPress, where at the bottom you see the title and then the alt text, and that's where you add the words. The 5th tactic is to place a couple of high-quality outbound links within your post. Google favors articles that link to high domain authority websites. When you're searching for statistical charts and infographics to use for some of your images, then just make sure the source is from a highly recognized website within that industry. This will allow you to link out to that quality source whenever you're citing the chart or infographic that it came from. In this slide, you can see an example of an outbound link to a high-quality source of a chart that I used in one of my blog posts. The citation reads at the top, "Conductor did a study of what people preferred in a headline, and the study revealed that the numbered headline was the clear winner." The best practice is to use the brand name for the anchor text. And all anchor text means is the text where the link is going out to. As you can see at the top of this slide, Conductor is in orange, and if you clicked on Conductor, that would take you out to the website. There are 2 reasons why you should use the brand name. The first is because you don't want to create an anchor text that's a call to action that's going to drive people out of your post. And the second reason is that most big brands track mentions of their website and brand. When they see that you've mentioned their brand in a post, this usually leads to a Twitter or a Facebook share. Many of these shares have driven thousands of quality visitors to my blog post. A blog post with a couple of strong internal links will improve your chances of ranking on Google by 2 ways. The first way is that it decreases the bounce rate and increases average time on site. Each internal link needs to be on a topic directly related to the material of the blog post that you're writing. And the best location for these internal links is towards the second half of the article and right at the end. When a Google visitor is driven deeper into your site, it increases the average time on site and decreases the bounce rate. Both of these are big factors that impact the Google rankings. And the chart that you're looking at here is from a Backlinko study, and you can see that the top Google rankings have a lower bounce rate. And the more strategically placed internal links towards the end of your blog post will decrease your bounce rate and give you a better chance of moving up the Google rankings. The second way it impacts Google rankings is that it increases the page authority of the post that you're linking to. Page authority is like domain authority, but is specific to the page or the post. It measures the value of internal and external links that point to a particular blog post. Backlinko identified that posts with higher page authority rank higher on Google. So the more internal links that you have going to a specific post or a page, the greater the page authority. And don't worry, I'm going to explain domain authority and page authority in a few minutes in the webinar in case you don't know what it means. The best practice for placing an internal link is to use the entire title of the blog post that you're linking to for the anchor text and use a nice transition paragraph. Both of these tactics will increase the internal link's click-through rate. Here's an example of a transition paragraph that uses the post title for the anchor text. It reads, "Internal links are just one tactic pro bloggers use to decrease their bounce rates. I highly recommend that you take a look at all 25 proven ways to decrease your bounce rate. This will give you an entire arsenal of proven tactics to get more page views and fewer bounces." In this example, you can see that 25 proven ways to decrease your bounce rate is highlighted in orange, and that area will link to the next blog post. At the bare minimum, you should include one strategically placed internal link in the last paragraph of your blog post. These links will get clicked on 500% more than your standard related post links that show up below the post or on WordPress blogs with simple plugins. Here's a quick recap of my top 6 on-page SEO tactics. Number 1, craft a compelling title with the keyword phrase in the first 6 words using the following formula: odd number plus superlative or power word plus exact keyword phrase. Number 2, create a teasing meta description with a truncated sentence. Number 3, write over 2,000 words for each blog post. Number 4, optimize the image names of charts and infographics for Google image search. Number 5, link out to high authority sources of the charts and infographics that you use for your images. And number 6, include internal links to related blog posts. I want to congratulate you for getting to the halfway point of the webinar. As Stephen Covey once said, the key to success is dedication to lifelong learning. I personally sign up to at least 4 paid courses every year so that I can continue to sharpen my saw. Now let's move on to link building. Although the landscape of the Google algorithm has changed dramatically over the last 5 years, backlinks are still a driving force in determining Google rankings. Moz surveyed the top 150 SEO experts in the world, and they asked them to score all the ranking factors from 1 being the least influence to 10 being the most influence. The results of the survey revealed domain and page-level backlinks were voted the 2 most influential factors in the Google algorithm. Now I'm going to unveil my top 5 secret strategies for getting high-quality backlinks. Many of these you'll be hearing about for the first time. Others will be a new spin on a familiar technique. All of them are proven white hat strategies that will be working years down the road. Let's go ahead and get right into the first strategy. You need to understand domain authority to target the right websites. When it comes to link building, it's all about quality over quantity. A single link from a high domain authority website can make all of your posts get pushed up in the Google rankings. So, what is domain authority? It's a 100-point scoring system to grade a website's ability to rank on Google, and it's based on the inbound link profile of that site, which essentially means all the links that are pointing to your blog. The system, created by Moz, is the way professional marketers grade inbound link opportunities. A major news site like CNN.com has the maximum domain authority of 100, and a quality blog like mine has a domain authority of 44. The point scale is logarithmic. This essentially means that a domain authority of 40 is 10 times stronger than a domain authority of 30. Moz uses this same logarithmic algorithm for page authority, which determines a page's ability to influence the Google rankings. To simplify this, you will want to target sites with a domain authority greater than 30. A link from a website with little or no domain authority will have virtually no impact on your Google rankings. You can check the domain authority of prospective websites with Moz's free Open Site Explorer tool. The second link building strategy is to use HARO to have reporters list you and your site as a source. HARO, which stands for Help a Reporter Out, is a service that journalists use to find sources for their articles. All you have to do is register with the site as a source to get requests from reporters with the stories they need sources for. Here are the best practices for getting backlinks using HARO. For starters, the information in your personal profile on HARO plays a major role. This paragraph is going to get read by every reporter that considers you as a source. In 6 sentences, you want to explain what makes you special along with your past experience. Another important thing about HARO is that you do not want to pitch anonymous reporters. Only pitch reporters who list their website and make sure it has a domain authority greater than 30. In the screenshot on this slide, you can see right under Millennial Stepmoms where the anonymous marker will show up, and I've highlighted in blue. So whenever you're on HARO and you see someone with an anonymous under their name, you want to avoid those altogether. And finally, you'll want to respond within 10 minutes of the HARO email that goes out every day. HARO sends out emails with the latest requests for reporters Monday through Friday at 5 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most of these reporters are on a deadline and will choose the first qualified source that comes their way. I recommend pitching 5 times a week on stories that you have a specific experience on. Once you supply a couple of reporters with great info, then they'll start reaching out to you directly and you won't even have to go to HARO. The third strategy is to create link-worthy infographics from your best post. Infographics are still the #1 link building technique used by big marketing agencies. It is the most used technique because it works better than anything else. When you combine great design with great content, you have a winning combination for a link-worthy infographic. There are 3 best practices for using infographics to attract links. The first is to always remember quality is better than quantity. You are better off investing in one quality infographic per month as opposed to a weekly infographic that's just average. This will also allow you to spend the rest of the month promoting your infographic to other bloggers. In addition, never mention specific dates in your infographics. What is your first impression when you see an infographic with the title that reads, Web Design Trends for 2010? Most people will not even read through an infographic that has a year on it other than the current year. By not mentioning a specific date, your infographic will be acquiring links for many years to come. And the third best practice is to post your infographic to the big key communities. The 3 communities that have the biggest returns for infographics are Visually, which is visual.ly, Reddit. All you have to do is go on Google and type a search for Reddit infographics, and that'll take you to their infographics page. And finally, Pinterest. Bloggers browse these websites every day looking for infographics to repost on their websites. And if they repost your infographic, they're going to link back to you at the same time. BuzzSumo analyzed over 100 million articles and found that infographics get shared more than any other type of content. On average, infographics received 3,000 more social shares than all other forms of content. So they're not just great for linking, they're great for getting social shares. The fourth strategy is to create epic statistics posts for news reporters to find on Google. After infographics, the statistics post is the most effective passive link building technique. Reporters use Google to look for statistics on the topics that they're about to write. If your post comes up in a search on Google, then you have a great chance of being included as a source for their key stat. Here are a few tips for implementing this process with excellence. You'll start by optimizing your post title for Google using the perfect title formula. Your title should have the statistics phrase that you are targeting in the first 6 words and use an odd number plus power word plus the exact keyword phrase. For example, the title might be 29 Significant Soda Consumption Statistics. This will allow your post to rank higher on Google for that specific keyword phrase. That title I just mentioned, 29 Significant Soda Consumption Statistics, got me the #1 Google result for the search phrase soda consumption statistics. This continues to drive traffic and links to my blog. When you're writing your blog post, you'll want to remember 2 specific things. First, list out all of your key stats using bullet points. You want to make it real easy for reporters to come to your post and then scan through all of your stats. Second, group your stats together and follow each group with a commentary. This is going to allow you to increase your total word count of your overall blog post, because if you just listed out the stats alone, you might not have enough words to rank high enough on Google. And finally, go further than the competition by curating a greater number of stats. Look through the first 4 pages of Google results for the statistics phrase that you were going to write about. Find the highest number of stats within a post and compile at least 10 more. Reporters will naturally be drawn to the title that has the largest number of statistics. So when you look at this slide and you see 42, 35, 11, reporters are going to click on the one that says 42 because it has more statistics than the rest. And if after you looked at all the results on Google for the first 4 pages, if the highest number was 42, then your title would go a step further and it would be 53 must-see marketing statistics. I recommend that you make a list of every type of statistic remotely related to your industry. If you have a social media blog, then that would include stats on Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Write at least one long-form statistics post every single month. Just this past summer alone, my statistics post produced backlinks from AOL News, San Francisco's top newspaper, and Ask Men magazine. All of these were well over 70 domain authority. The 5th strategy is to do podcast interviews to get backlinks on show notes pages. Podcasters are constantly looking for people to interview on their shows. If you get interviewed, then your website will get a backlink in their show notes page on their blog. Many of these blogs have a significant domain authority. Here are a few tips for getting podcast interviews. Use Apple's top podcast charts to create a list of podcasts to target. Apple keeps track of the top 200 most listened to podcasts in every single category. This is where you will build your list of podcasts to target. Start from number 200 and work your way up to number 1. You can also target podcasts in the new and noteworthy section on iTunes. These podcasts are just getting started and are almost always looking for people to interview. Most of these podcast hosts will interview you and publish your episode in under 2 weeks. For each podcast that you target, you'll want to create a specific pitch. Your email pitch should show them that you're an avid listener, explain how their listeners will benefit from your interview, and include what makes you the expert on the topic. Here's a pitch that I've used quite often in the past. The subject line is question about your podcast. And the body is, Jamie, I love your podcast. And my favorite episode so far was number 23 on how to make serious money from your blog. I'm very interested in coming on your podcast as a guest. I know I can deliver some major value to your audience. I grew my blog from 0 to 1 million monthly visitors in less than 18 months. I would be honored to share how I did it with your listener base. By the way, your Brittany Spaniels are adorable, and thank you for delivering great content in every episode. Brandon. In addition to the backlink, podcast interviews will give you significant exposure that'll lead to new clients and product revenue. Now let's do a quick recap of my top 5 link building strategies. Number 1, no domain authority to target the right websites. Number 2, use Haro to have reporters list your site as a source. Number 3, create link-worthy infographics from your best post. Number 4, create epic statistics posts for news reporters to find you on Google. Number 5, do podcast interviews for backlinks on their show notes page. 17 years ago, I was brought up on stage during Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within seminar, and I was able to ask him, what is the one thing that leads to success more than anything else? He told me it was making a lifelong commitment to CAN-I, which is constant and never-ending improvement. I want to ask you real quickly, does any of this sound familiar? You know you need a blogging system that drives results, but you don't know what works best. You're frustrated with your traffic and how much money your blog is making. And you just want to be told what to do and how to do it so that you can start seeing some real results. There's 2 paths to finding success as a blogger. The first is the hard way. This is the way that will lead you down a complex and confusing path. You'll end up scouring the internet to find information on how to do it. Then you'll invest hundreds of hours reading article after article. Then you'll test every shiny new tactic that you read about while wanting to see some kind of positive result just happen. This way takes years and years to finally figure out the right formula that works. The alternative path is what I call the right way. This is the simple and strategic way to become a successful blogger. You'll find a pro blogger that has built his traffic from 0 to millions. Then you'll get access to his proven system that is laid out step by step. And then you'll spend weeks instead of years learning the precise tactics that'll take your blog to the next level. And finally, you'll start seeing big results with every single post that you create. My course, The Blog Millionaire, is an A to Z blueprint for creating, growing, and monetizing blogs that will flood your email list with raving fans, grow your organic Google traffic, and quickly push your blog's residual income to a whole new level. I teach the entire course across 13 easy-to-learn video modules. Now I'm going to quickly go over some of the highlights of every video module covered in the course. Video module number 1 is choosing a domain name that gets top Google rankings. It covers the 7 keys to choosing a great domain name to build upon, how your domain authority influences all of your Google rankings, and the top 4 blog domain strategies that every blogger needs to know. Module number 2 is how to find high-value domains in the aftermarket. It includes how to find and buy a domain name that will instantly rank on Google, 5 ways to use Open Site Explorer to identify the perfect backlink profile, and the 3 red flags to watch out for when buying an aged domain name. Module number 3 is optimizing hosting and your WordPress site for super fast loading pages. It reveals how to solve 99% of WordPress problems that come up, 9 simple things you can do to increase the speed of your blog by over 300%, and 6 ways that the pros stop all hacking attempts on their blogs. Modules 4, 5, 6, and 7 are what I call the core 4 of the course. I always encourage my new students to watch these 4 modules first so that they can start executing and seeing results right away. Module number 4 is using keyword research to dominate Google rankings. It teaches how to identify the exact keyword phrases that'll rank in Google search every single time, the brainstorm process that I use for finding diamonds in the rough, and my secret keyword research tactic for taking blogs from 100,000 monthly visitors to 500,000 monthly visitors. Module number 5 is writing posts that turn visitors into followers. This module shows you how to identify the number of words each post should have, a simple way to plan the next 90 days of your blog post, and 7 formatting techniques that'll make every new visitor read your entire blog post. Module number 6 is increasing the overall engagement of your blog post. It covers a simple process that doubled my social shares overnight, how to make your post images get first page Google rankings, and the 4 keys to turning your About Me page into a money-making machine. Module number 7 is how to get quality links that increase all of your Google rankings. It includes the 8 link building mistakes that will destroy a blog's rankings forever. A simple way for getting links from major news sites like CNN, and my whole arsenal of custom growth hacked backlinking strategies. Module number 8 is using social media to get your blog post shared by thousands. It reveals how to build a Facebook group that has 10 times the engagement as a Facebook page, my 11 Twitter growth hacks that drive targeted Twitter followers, and how to triple your Pinterest followers and repins. Module number 9 is how to add thousands to your email list every single month. It teaches the 4 types of opt-ins that have the highest conversion rate, the 6 optimization techniques that will triple your email opt-ins, and how to craft great emails that get opened and clicked every time. Module number 10 is using Google Analytics to uncover traffic-producing trends. It shows you the 7 ways to increase your blog's engagement with analytics, the 6 areas in Google Analytics that you need to watch, and the 1 analytics strategy that will double your organic Google traffic. Module number 11 is monetizing your blog for client services, consulting, and coaching. It covers how to create a value proposition that you can charge $1,500 a month for, the 10 elements of a landing page that drive qualified client leads, and my simple formula for turning leads into high-paying clients. Module number 12 is monetizing your blog with online courses. It includes how to create an online course that you can charge up to $2,000 for, the proven tactics I use to drive targeted traffic to my landing page, and my complete webinar formula for turning visitors into course buyers. Module number 13 is how to monetize your blog with AdSense and affiliates. It reveals the 9 ways to triple your monthly AdSense earnings, the 6 tactics that allow you to grow a residual income with affiliates, and the 3 types of blog posts that convert 500% more affiliate sales than the typical blog post. Now I'd like to tell you about the 2 bonuses that are only available for this masterclass. The first big bonus is access to my social media hacks course. This course is made up of 5 video modules that cover my greatest social growth hacks of all time. Video module number 1 is a Pinterest growth hack that drives 200,000 monthly visitors to my blog every single month. This growth hack is awesome because it delivers big time traffic within weeks of starting to use it. It includes my keyword research formula for ranking number 1 for every single pin, and the key to turning each pin into referral traffic that flows forever. Module number 2 is my 5-figure Facebook groups growth hack. It includes my top secret formula for turning a single Facebook post into 5 figures of revenue, how to identify Facebook groups loaded with your ideal target audience, and a 2-step tactic that allows your group posts to be virally spread. Video module number 3 is an Instagram growth hack like no other in the world. This hack solved the number 1 problem that Instagram experts have failed to figure out. It reveals how I get ultra-targeted traffic that converts at unheard of ratios, and a simple trick to getting the most engaged Instagram users to follow your account. Video module number 4 is how to turn Twitter into a money-making engagement machine. It reveals a targeting tactic that allows me to acquire my competitors' customers, how I increase my followers and retweets by 2,300% in one day, and my simple system that turns new followers into paying customers. The fifth and final video module is how to get a first page ranking on YouTube for every video that you publish. My first video that I used this hack on has made me over $50,000 to date. I'm going to be revealing the formula that vaults every new video to the first page of YouTube and the secret to turning YouTube views into high converting web traffic. The second big bonus is direct access to me through a private members only Facebook group. I'm not talking about just a once a month Q&A session. You get access to me 7 days a week through the VIP Mastermind Facebook group. In the past, I've joined courses on my own where the course creator only made appearances every now and then. That's not me. I personally respond to every question within 24 hours of the post. A little secret between you and me, my clients pay me at least $20,000 a year to have access to me throughout the business week. Let me show you a couple of recent posts so you get an idea of what goes on inside the Facebook group. In this screenshot, one of my students writes, "Hey Brandon, love the course. Just have a quick question on posting frequency. I know there is no optimum answer, but do you recommend once a week, provided the prerequisite is high quality content, of course?" And then I respond with, "I recommend a minimum of once a week. As you improve your writing efficiency, then you should increase the frequency. Writing posts is like working out. Working out once a week will improve your health. Working out 3 times a week will change your body. And working out every day will change your life." And in this screenshot, one of my students writes, "I don't recall if there was anything about this in the course, but I have a question about using headings. My post titles are H1 and all my subheadings are H3. I was told I should be using H2 for Google rankings. Should I be using H2 for subheadings instead of H3? By the way, just checked Google Analytics and my search traffic is up 663% in the second half of 2013 compared to the first. Thanks, Brandon." And I responded by saying, "Congrats on increasing your search traffic by 663%. In the old days, it used to matter whether you used H2 or H3. It doesn't anymore. I use H3 on all of my subheadings." In addition to having me there to answer any questions that come up, you'll also see a lot of win shares posted by other students. In this screenshot, Franklin Medina states, "I wanted to provide a quick update to my post in October of 2017, where I highlighted where my traffic was at that time. I am proud to say that 3 months later, my traffic has doubled since my 2017 post." And Franklin went on to show the actual roadmap that he used to apply the tactics that he learned from the course to get these phenomenal results, along with the screenshots of his actual Google Analytics account. And here's another win share from Tony Stancato that says, "Shout out to Brandon Gaille. I started this group back in June of 2016. I really utilized the keyword research tips and started putting out some low competition keywords. I went from making a few $100s a month to thousands of dollars a month. I just received a high 5-figure offer and I'm under contract. I also built another blog from scratch that's making about $800 per month, and I'm in discussions to sell that one as well." And Tony also included a nice screenshot of his Google Analytics showing the growth from the beginning when he started the course and where it is right now. By signing up today for the course, you're going to be getting a lifetime membership for as long as the course exists. In the near future, I'm going to be increasing the membership fees and I'm going to be making it a yearly rate. But during this special launch window, you'll be able to lock yourself into a lifetime membership so you'll never have to pay for yearly renewal fees. It took me 4 long years to learn everything that I know, and you're going to be able to learn it in just a few weeks. Here's what you'll get by signing up within the next 30 minutes. The 13-module Blog Millionaire course valued at $2,500. The exclusive VIP Mastermind Facebook group valued at $3,900. My social media growth hacks course valued at $1,500. And you get lifetime access to all of this. The total value of everything that you're going to get access to is right at $7,900. The fast action special that is only good for this masterclass will allow you to get everything for a total investment of only $497. And finally, the course comes with a money-back, risk-free 30-day guarantee. I want to share a quote with you by Ray Kroc, who's the man that acquired the McDonald's restaurant chain and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar empire. He said, the two most important requirements for success are, first, being in the right place at the right time, and second, doing something about it. By watching my masterclass, you are officially in the right place at the right time, and now it's time to do something about it. So go ahead and click on the icon in the bottom left-hand corner of this video, or click on the link that's in the video's description to get instant lifetime access to everything in the course, plus the two big bonuses, which were the Social Growth Hacks course and the VIP private Facebook group. Like I said before, the two bonuses are a special offer just for this masterclass, and you have to sign up within the next 30 minutes or they go away forever. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this masterclass, and I look forward to getting to know you in the private VIP Facebook group.